we'll
Oh,
go and
just
cut that
Rachel.
out.
Just Rachel. Miller got cut.
good, good afternoon, Rachel. How are you today?
I'm good, Mr. Miller. How are you?
I am well. We have a jam-packed show. I'm going to quickly read our handy-dandy disclaimer here. Welcome to the Rachel and Mr. Miller podcast, where we cover real estate, real life, and the occasional topic that might raise an eyebrow. We are licensed residential and commercial real estate professionals. However, this podcast is for entertainment purposes and general information purposes only. Nothing you hear should be taken as legal, financial, tax, or other professional advice. And listening does not create a client advisory relationship of any kind. These are our opinions, our experiences, and our conversations. Enjoy them responsibly like you would an adult beverage. So again, I say good afternoon, good day, and hello. We have a guest with us today who's going to be spilling the beans all about VA and the VA financing, because there is so much for our listeners and viewers to hear about. So, Rach, if you would be so kind to introduce our guest, Alex, that would be outstanding.
Sure. Miller, move your mic a little closer to you. You sound a little far away. So
How's it?
we have Alex Ramirez here from Valor Home Finance. I met Alex a couple months ago at a mortgage workshop, and I was instantly intrigued and interested in what Alex had to share about VA loans. And he's a very knowledgeable guy, and I've had the pleasure of running into him around town and going to some of his events that him and his team have held at their hub out in Simi Valley. And Alex is a great guy, and he's also got a great social media presence of his own on Instagram and so forth. So it's an honor to have Alex here today, and thanks for sharing the next half hour with us, Alex.
I appreciate you too. Thank you so much. Yeah, happy to be here. It was great meeting you. It was a couple months ago, and is it okay? Do I call you Scott or I call you Miller?
You call me Scott.
Okay,
There's an inside joke there that,
I
yeah.
I call him Mr. Miller.
Great meeting. We haven't met in person, but we've been talking for like the last probably 20 minutes. But yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much. I really appreciate being on here.
Absolutely. And
Alex,
by the way,
give us a little bit of your background. How long have you been in the lending world, and what led you to it?
So I've been a loan officer since January 2005. So just over 21 years. I mean, it's pretty interesting. I was going to junior college. I was going to Moorpark College, playing football, running track, just studying. And my goal was to transfer and get my degree in real estate and finance, right? I wanted to get my degree in that. And I had some things that changed my plans. And, I was really into track and field, and I wanted to transfer to, a college that was really interested in me. Then, after a few injuries and a decision where I was like, what's going to really, I really have to make a decision. Am I going to continue with college, or do I want to, pursue my career? Because this is I wanted to get into the industry anyway. And I made the decision to get into loans. And the way it worked, I was, at the same time going to college, I was a part-time teller at a big bank. I wanted to learn about, the way banks work and how it all functioned. That was something my dad recommended to me if I wanted to learn and get into the industry. And at the same time, I want to learn a little bit part of the real estate side. So I was an assistant to a real estate agent for like 6 months, and just sitting open houses, doing marketing stuff for them. And then after working there for a couple of years, the loan officer, the in-house loan officer, which is still a local loan officer here, I see this loan officer all the time, and she's really awesome. And she approached me. She asked me if I was interested in becoming a junior loan officer, and I said, heck yeah, I want to do it. It's something I want to do. And that was October 2004. And then I started January 2005. I was a junior loan officer. And during that time, 2005, if you know the timing in the industry, it was busy. I mean, it was like stated income, stated assets. I mean, almost as close as like stated FICO scores. It was crazy. I mean, if you had a pulse, you can get a loan. It was really like that. I'm not even exaggerating. So, I was what, 20, 23, 24 years old. And, in my first month in the business, I closed a bunch of transactions, and I was like, okay, I think I don't think I'm going to go to college anymore. I don't recommend that for everybody,
Yeah,
but
that was kind of easy.
yeah, it worked out for me because I was making the money I made the first month in the business is more than I made the whole previous year, obviously as a part-time bank teller. but it worked out pretty well. And
Right.
that's how I got started in the industry. It was just kind of like one thing after another, and certain things that seemed like at the time like, almost like a failure. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be able to pursue what I want to do, is like go to college, transfer to Long Beach State, and run track and field there. It didn't work out how I exactly wanted it, and I mean, everything happens for a reason. And I mean, I ended up, my life turned out great. If me not going there, I wouldn't have met my wife, wouldn't have my kids. It all works out in a pretty amazing way.
That's awesome. So
Is am I? I'm getting a little thing that says it's trying to connect to the internet. Am I okay?
yep, you're still there. I see you.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Alex, what is one of the biggest myths, that's a hard word to say, myths about, all right, don't feel like I'm saying it right,
Myths.
myths
Myths.
about VA loans that you've encountered in your experience?
Yeah, I think I mean, there's several, but I think the biggest one is that you can only use your VA loan once. And I hate to be the one saying this, but I messed up. This was like earlier in my career, where there was a Korean War vet. This was, I mean, you're talking probably like 2000, I might have been like 2008, 2009. He approached me, wanted to use his VA loan. And, the way the qualification works for a VA loan is completely different than any other loan. So he ended up buying a house with conventional financing. Everything worked out later on for him, but that was a mistake I made, and I'll admit that I made that mistake, and I learned later on. But that a lot of people think you can only use your VA loan once, but you can use it multiple times. So you could also have multiple VA loans at a time. So if there's service members I talk to and they say, I want to wait to use my VA loan for, my retirement house. I don't want to waste my VA loan. So you can buy a house now, and then let's say you sell your house and you could use your VA loan again. And then you sell the house again, use it again. As long as it's your primary residence, you can use it over and over and over again. Or you can have multiple VA loans. So let's say you have one VA loan and it's your primary home. And, let's say you live there 5, 6, 7 years, and then you grow out of the house and you want to get another property. You could rent that house. You can keep that VA loan as is. And if you have enough entitlement, because there's entitlement on every single VA loan, it's calculated based off your loan balance. And if you have enough entitlement available, you could purchase another house, another primary home using your VA loan. And there's a good chance you can go 100% financing depending on the purchase price. But you can go 100% financing. You could use it over again and multiple VA loans.
So if somebody had an entitlement, and I'm going to use an extreme case, like up here in where I'm at up here in Ridgecrest, is our average home price is around $160,000.
Yeah.
So if somebody had an entitlement, say $1 million, and I don't know, is there a cap on an entitlement?
So if you don't have any active VA loans, so let's say you're buying a house and you want to qualify for $1 million loan, no money down, you income qualify, you can finance that 100% financing, and you can go up to $3-4 million. It just depends what the lender allows on the max loan amount. But there is no limit on a VA loan if you have no VA loans active. So it's just, really, it's whatever the lender is actually able to or willing to lend on the amount they have available.
I did not know that. So there's no cap on a VA loan. It just comes down to the lender, and I'm assuming that would also come down to credit scores and things like that.
Yeah, so they have to qualify for it. So if they have a VA loan and they want to qualify for it, if they keep that VA loan active and that property becomes an investment property and they still have entitlement available to purchase another house with the VA loan, then it's capped. That's when it's capped. But if you don't have any VA loans and you're going to purchase a house and it's going to be the only VA loan you're going to be using at that time, really, whatever you qualify for, I don't want to say the sky's the limit, but it's whatever, some lenders, their max is 2 million, some lenders max is 3 million, or it could be 4 million on 100% financing on a VA loan. So it really depends on that.
I did not know that. And that kind of goes back to what Rachel and I say all the time. That's why we keep aces in their places. That's why we're having you on today. I'm not a financing guy. I will defer to somebody that knows more about that. But I did not know that information. That's absolutely interesting, especially up here where our average home price is $260,000. Somebody could conceivably have 3 or 4 homes as rental properties. Is that right? Is that the way I'm understanding that?
As long as it's So as long as it's a primary home. So when they purchase the property with the VA loan, it has to be a primary home, and then the VA it's a requirement, but the expected time to live there is 12 months, so a year. So that's the expected time to live there.
And then
So
they can leapfrog to another
yeah,
property.
and they can purchase another property using another VA loan. It just depends. Each county has different loan limits. This is kind of getting in the weeds a little bit, but each county has different loan limits. Like LA County has a higher loan limit than like San Bernardino County.
Wonder
So
why.
yeah, right. And like if say for example, if you have somebody that is in San Bernardino County and they use so it's 25% of the loan amount, that's how much entitlements used. So they use their entitlement on that property for 275,000, and then they're like, you know what, this house after a year or two, they're like, this house is going to be a rental now. You're going to rent it out or Airbnb, whatever they want to do, and then they want to buy a place in LA County. So if they're comparing the numbers with the entitlement available in San Bernardino County for their next house they're buying with VA loan to LA is going to be a lot higher than San Bernardino County because the loan limit's much higher.
Interesting.
So yeah, so it depends on the county. So or if it's like Texas or going out of state, it's different. But yeah, LA County, Orange County are the highest, and Ventura County is a little lower, but we're still pretty high on the loan limit.
So, and this is still in the weeds. So
Yeah.
we'll jump in there and it'll come back out of the weeds.
Going out, yeah, but just so people understand, it's each county is going to be
Right.
different when you're going to your second VA loan when you already have one active VA loan.
Does the VA do like renovation loans? Like I think it's an FHA-K, which is a renovation type loan. Go ahead.
Yeah, there are renovation loans. So when it comes to the VA loan, it's the VA just guarantees the loan. They're not actually. That's another myth too. Is a lot of people think that the VA is actually the one doing the loan. They're just guaranteeing the loan. They're basically insuring the loan. So this way, it's a safer loan. They're insuring basically 25% of the loan amount. And but there are renovation loans. You have the renovation loan. You have the one-time close also, which it's a product where you can buy land and it's a construction loan at the same time. So they buy land, and also they can build a house too. So that's available as well.
Actually, see, stop learning me things. Stop it.
Those are, I would say,
I have a question, Miller. Be quiet. Alex, I learned that there are a few nuances, a few differences, quite a few with a VA loan versus a traditional loan. I was working with a VA buyer. I still am. And we put an offer in, and then we had a counter offer, and the counter offer didn't fit within the parameters of the VA loan.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, we put in an offer, I think it was for 17 days for a loan and appraisal, and the counter came back asking for, gosh, I think it was 15, which is like 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then I called the VA lender, and they said no, they can't do it. For loan and appraisal, they have to do it 17 days. It can't be less than that. Is that typical?
No, I mean it's every lender is going to be different. So there's a time frame in each. So if you go online, you can look at the time frames for appraisals for VA. I mean, it's public. You just go online, you can Google it. It'll tell you the amount of time that's allowed. The VA gives the appraiser to get the appraisal completed. So typically, we'll do like 10 days. If we could do 10 days appraisal contingency on a VA loan, 9 times out of 10, or almost 10 times out of 10, it comes through within that time frame. And when it's coming in on that last day, it could be, sometimes they'll send it at midnight, but we still receive it. But yeah, that could be a lender specific, because there's one thing, you have the VA guidelines, and then you have the lender overlays. So you can have like ABC Mortgage, and this other big bank, and they'll have their guidelines. They'll say minimum credit score 620, or they'll say, for example, they might have an internal policy where it says minimum appraisal time frame is 17 days or loan contingency 15 days, whatever it is. That's internal, because we turn approvals around within 24 to 48 hours once the loan's submitted to the underwriter. and fully approved. So like once we're like fully approved, all conditions are cleared. Of course, you have your appraisal and everything. I mean, we're typically averaging just over 14 days, like 14.75 day, 14.7 days, I believe. That's what our average is on a purchase transaction on a VA loan. But every lender is going to be different. Like I said, some say our minimum credit score is 620, but VA guidelines, it's the only loan that does not have any credit score requirement on the VA guidelines. No other loan has that. So they can buy a house with
Interesting.
a 500 score, but of course, lower score means higher risk, means higher interest rate. That's where it's going to impact them.
Right. Miller, you've worked with quite a few VA buyers, right?
I have.
Did Yeah. So is it your practice to call those lenders and learn what their parameters are so that you understand what you're working with?
Yes, I every time will call my VA lender and say hi. I introduce myself, and it also, in my world, seems to work better as soon as I'm able to introduce myself and they now have a voice and an agent to speak with. It seems
Yeah.
to, I'm going to use, this is a poor choice of words on my part, but I don't want to say it greases the wheels, but it greases the wheels to make the transaction run more smoothly. Is that way the lender isn't guessing at things and he or she knows that they can reach out. But I will typically reach out, not typically, I will reach out every time and say, hi, how you doing? Uh, I was thinking about this a couple minutes ago. Is there are the national VA lenders that are out there, and then there's the local lenders. I prefer working with local, I'm going to say California people, versus the national big box lenders. They do a fine job. No, I'm not trying to disparage them at all. However, it's been my experience that having a local California lender for me seems to work better. That's just
I
been
would
my
agree.
experience.
Yeah.
I
Some
would
of these
agree.
lenders, I mean, they're big, some of these well-known ones, and they're really good at marketing and targeting their audience. But I mean,
That's where it ends.
yeah,
Was that out
they,
loud? Sorry, it was, wasn't it?
you're right. And they're great at marketing. And then the thing is, they're just churning them. They're just, I mean, they have, 30, 40 people they're talking at one time. And if you try to get a hold of this lender, this loan officer, like on a Saturday or Sunday, because sometimes you need to get things updated. You're going to have a hard time doing that. And there's no relationship. I mean, they'll make it seem like, hey, they're building the relationship. They're going to have your back. But like, we're all the same. Like we're independent, even it's all three of us are independent. So like our career really depends on our reputation. So if I live and work in this, I've grown up here in Simi Valley. A lot of my business comes out of here. I do business, all over the country, but the majority of it is within, Ventura and LA. And if I don't take care of somebody or I treat them bad, I mean, it could be terrible. It would destroy my reputation, my company, my other partners, everything. So every time I talk to them is like, I have your back no matter what. Like I'm gonna have your back, not just to get the house, but if you need help with your service connected disability, I'll get you connected to the right people. I'll put you on the phone with these right. I'll introduce you face to face, everything. So it's like it's not just the transaction. I'm trying to build a relationship, and just to kind of move forward.
Absolutely.
That's the whole thing. I mean, I'm not. These call centers they're just calling, hang up, calling, hang up.
That's what they are.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
That's what they are. Alex, do you primarily do VA loans or do you work with other conventional loans as well? Do you prefer to stay in the VA lane?
We do all of them. We do all of them. So for a long time in my career, the majority of my business was conventional and FHA. And we know conventional guidelines extremely well, FHA extremely well, jumbo, non-QM. We do everything. VA is just something that's really close to us, all of us have our different reasons, but we want to make sure service members are taken care of. So we specialize working with military vets and active service members, but we do all loans. There's even service members where we help them, buy a house with a conventional loan. I mean, it's because maybe they use their whole entitlement for the VA loan, so they buy a house, another house with the conventional. And so we definitely do all of them, and we know all the products really well here.
hey, on that note,
This is a perfect time to ask you what inspired you to
Yeah.
kind of find this space. What inspired you?
Yeah. So So yeah, when I got in the business in 2005, it was really what was motivating me was just like money. I mean, flat out. I mean, that's how it was. It was I was motivated by money. I wanted to make a lot of money. I was doing well and made a lot of money, spent a lot of money, lost a lot of money. I pretty much, I almost went, I pretty much went flat broke. I had, just 20 some odd bucks in my account and I was flat broke. I was being sued. I had lawsuits at another company. I had
Wow.
lawsuits, bogus stuff where I had a $5 million lawsuit against me. I mean, it was going to be something that's going to destroy me pretty much for good. And that's what I was really focusing on for a long time, just, money. And it wasn't really about, I mean, I was helping people buy a house, but I wasn't really too motivated by that. And, I was working the business, just trying to, get back into everything when the market started coming back around like late 2008, 2009. And what really it's like inspired me, but really it changed everything for me. It was my best friend Joshua Collins. He grew up here in Simi Valley. He was in the Marine Corps for 8 years. He was a EOD, so he was explosive ordnance disposal technician, and then he went to the reserves in the Marine Corps for 2 years. And during those 2 years reserves, he was LAPD police officer. He was one of the first police officers that opened Topanga Station right over the hill. And then he had the option to get deployed to Afghanistan, and he was deployed to Afghanistan in late April, early May, right around there of 2010. And he got, there was a little bit of a scare in July 2010, and he was all over the news because there was a secondary blast that kind of, fortunately, he was able to live, and then he got it kind of threw him back. He got a little bit rattled. So LAPD made this video. They're gonna, telling him that they're here for him. They're gonna welcome home when he gets back. Well, that year in 2010, the EOD, so Marine Corps, they had a rough time during that year. If you just look up, all the casualties they had, and then fast forward to 2000, there was the same year, October 19, 2010. Unfortunately, he went to go investigate a secondary explosion, and then he stepped on an IED, an improvised explosive device, and he was killed. So October 19, 2010, that's when he lost his life, and that's what really changed everything for me. Just even thinking about it, just like it still gets me a little emotional. I named my son after him. My son's name is Josh. My daughter was born about a month prior to that, and a month prior to that, he was saying that this part gets emotional, and he was saying that he couldn't wait to meet her, and when he was killed, he was about a week away from coming out, getting out of the field, and being in base and not having to. Then he'd be getting ready to go home shortly after that. But yeah, so he lost his life, and that really changed everything for me. And I just couldn't just sit around and do nothing. The conversations we had about future and doing certain things together, as friends and whatever. And I just decided, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to start helping military vets and service members. And I started volunteering my time at an organization for the troops, and I'd make these care packages, and I would, whatever they needed, I would help them, whatever it is. I would ship stuff. And one of my other buddies, he was in the Marine Corps. And then he was, we were helping each other. Then my longtime business partner, Dean, he jumped on board. He's like, let's help. His dad's a vet. He's like, let's help veterans as much as we can. And then it kind of started going from there. It started building from there. October 2010. It just like, and just kept. It was like a snowball. It was just building up. And then part of it was challenging because I'm not a military vet, and and me helping veterans. People they want to make sure I'm really in it for to help them. So it took a while, but after a while, just building it up and helping service members and helping military veterans and just being there for them. I mean, that's what changed everything for me. So it went from me, it being all about money, and then something tragic happening, my best friend being killed. And then it just changed how I thought. And then I was like, that's what I'm going to do. I can help these guys because every single veteran that I see that I help, or active service member I help, I see him. I see him in them, and that's how I take care of them. And I want to make sure they get the best care. And whatever they do, it's life changing. So that's what really, like I say, inspired me. But it's like one of those. It's really pushed me to help.
It catapulted you.
100%. Yeah, that's the right word to use. It catapulted me, and it's really grown to something really amazing. And we've helped hundreds and hundreds of military veterans. And I mean, I just can't wait to see what happens over these next few years. But it's really grown to something really cool. And there's a lot of people that are supportive of us and just helping vets. And it's just, we're always coming up with ideas just to help veterans.
That's awesome.
I have experienced a couple of your gatherings. They are very powerful. They're very enjoyable. You're in a room full of amazing, patriotic, appreciative people, and it's a good vibe. It's a really good vibe. We might go a few minutes over. I have two questions.
Yeah.
Have you attended any of the For the Troops galas that's held at the Reagan Library?
No, I have not attended the galas before. Years back, I just spent a lot of time, doing the care packages. I would do it, during my lunchtime every day, but haven't been to the galas. I've seen pictures and videos. They're awesome.
I think we should make a pinky promise that we are there the next one. My mom has worked with them a couple of times. I've been to one. They're great. I haven't had a chance to go back because of timing, but I think we should make a little pinky promise that we go. Maybe somehow I can get a table and get 10 people there. That would be amazing. And then I do not want to wrap this up unless and until we do justice to the 13 Souls run, is it? That you're hosting in August, and I'm going to be volunteering during that event. Tell us all about that, Alex.
Yeah, 13 Souls Memorial Run. It's going to be August 22nd, 2026. And that's to remember the 13 souls that were lost in Abbey Gate in August 2021. So the founder of it, Jeff Von Molt. So our nonprofit Vets and Valor is co-hosting with the 13 Souls Memorial Run nonprofit. So Jeff Von Molt, and he's the founder. And the way it started, so Jeff and Yvette's his wife, their son Jack he's a Marine. So he was in the Marine Corps during that time, and he was there at Abbey Gate. So when the explosion happened and there was lives lost, they didn't hear anything from their son. They weren't getting any communication. So it was about a whole day where they were so afraid. They were just sitting in their living room, looking at the front door and just praying that Marines wouldn't walk up to their door. So it just, even now, just the other day when they were here for the event, I mean, they get emotional about it. And I can only imagine, but Jack, he was okay, but he lost. There's people that I knew that he lost, so he was actually there. He was here on Thursday night, and I don't know if you saw him, but that's where it came from, and that's where it originated. But that runs to memorialize the 13 souls. The run is a 1K, 3K, 5K, 10K, and a half marathon. So you can volunteer, you can sponsor, you can run, whatever you want to do. We want to try to get as much support as we possibly can. We're expecting.
I have my guy.
There we go. We're expecting about 800 to 1,000 people. The last run they didn't do it last year, but they did the previous year, and they had just over 700 participants running. So if anyone wants to sign up, website's 13soulsrun.org.
Amazing. Miller?
Hello. I was sitting back. See, that was got it. So
giving you a chance to jump in.
Woohoo! I have what time? We have a few more minutes. Okay. I'm going back to lending for a second or five.
Yeah.
People hear zero down, and they think that means they don't need any money. What cost should a VA buyer still be prepared for at closing?
Yeah, so zero down just means no down payment. They have the option to put money down. So the cost is one. So if they have a service-connected disability with the VA, at least 10% or more, then they don't have to pay a funding fee. So the funding fee of the VA loan is 2.15% for the first use. And if they don't have a service-connected disability, that amount's financed. It's not paid out of pocket, but just so people know, when 100% financing, if you don't have a service-connected disability, you're paying that 2.15% amount that's financed. And if you do, that fee's waived, so you don't have to worry about it. But the regular closing costs, so I just talked to a veteran yesterday. He's like, hey, I heard about, that there's no closing costs. Well, there are closing costs. It's essentially, I tell everybody, it's the same closing costs like any other transaction. Like, FHA loan, conventional loan, it's pretty much the same cost. I mean, there are costs that the veteran can't pay, but For the most part, they're going to be all the same. Just so, like I said, we don't like to get caught in the weeds when I'm talking to somebody one-on-one. I explain to them. But yeah, so it's going to be the same thing. Or if your realtor is able to negotiate, for the seller to pay some or all the closing costs, there's several times where we help service members or military vet get into a house. They put their deposit in, and then when they sign their loan docs, since the agent was able to negotiate seller credit to pay all closing costs, the service member or the veteran gets back their deposit. So they're going in with literally nothing out of pocket. But yeah, there's still regular closing costs. That's a big myth right there. So I always let everybody know, be prepared. If you want to have some money set aside, you could use your 401k, savings account, checking account, TSP account. A lot of people don't know they can use your TSP. That's a retirement account that the service members have.
So we're going to do I have 5 questions that are yes, no.
Okay.
And I'm going to put an asterisk saying yes, no with an explanation, but I'm just going to give you 5 quick yes, no, or 5 of them. So I'm going to say
Rachel Moore.
Whoa, wrong one. Ha! Darn it. Let's try this one. See if that one works. Nope, still doesn't work. Okay, fine. So here is the 5. Ready? Bing, bing, bing. Can a veteran use a VA loan more than once?
Yes.
Can a VA buyer purchase a home with 0 down payment?
Yes.
Can seller credits be used to help cover VA closing costs?
Yes.
Can a VA loan be used to buy multi-unit property if the veteran lives in one of the units?
Yes, of course.
That's actually one I didn't have the answer to.
That's a good one right there.
Can a veteran still qualify for a VA loan if they've had a bankruptcy, foreclosure, or a short sale in the past?
Yes, there's a time limit, but yes, they can.
Bing, bing, bing. Look, you got them all.
You won.
Yay. Yes. See, we're going to have
You
Rachel.
won, Alex.
Rachel said she was going to volunteer. Now she's going to have to run because you got them all. She
I'm
didn't
not
know
running.
that. I'll put a goat.
I
I'll bring
only
a
run
goat.
from dinosaurs or the cops. That's it.
Or I can bring a goat. I'm going to bring a goat.
I'm not gonna run from a goat.
It'd be a really big goat. Alex, I keep trying to get Rachel to do goat yoga, and she refuses.
Oh, goat yoga.
I'm not doing goat yoga. I've done puppy yoga. That's where it ends.
Well, imagine goat yoga in Death Valley. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Gosh.
It's not happening. There's nothing about that sounds fun at all. I can just imagine goat, and I've told goat eyes freak me out. Like the way their eyes are, it's just not normal. It's not. It's not.
It is
normal.
it's normal if you're a goat. Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, speaking of goats, Alex, you are the greatest of all time.
Oh wow, that was smooth.
That was
I
good.
know.
That was smooth.
I
Wow.
know. And I'm really, really looking forward to the opportunity to work with you. I really, really am. I'm excited about that. And I'm happy that we met. I really am. So thank you so much for doing what you do so well, for providing such amazing service to our military members. They're very important to us. And thank you for your time today.
I appreciate
Alex.
you. Thank you so much, Rachel, Scott.
Alex, if people want to get a hold of you, what's the easiest way for them to get a hold of you?
Easiest way, go to my Instagram. It's at LexLender805. At LexLender805. It's if you DM me, then it's probably the best way to reach out to me. I mean, I do have a cell phone number, but I like to direct people to my Instagram. That'll probably be the best way to reach out to me.
Okay. Rachel, same question to you.
Well, I like how Alex handled that. I'm gonna have to handle it that way. But my phone number is 805-813-0664. You can email me at rachel@radishomes.com.
Awesome. And you can reach me with smoke signals.
Miller, how do people get a hold of you?
Smoke signals.
Smoke signals, good.
Smoke signals, the best way. You can call me at 760-264-3501, 760-264-3501, or you can reach me at homeswithscottkmiller.com. And that wraps it for our show today. And Alex, hang out for a couple minutes after we hang up here. And see, we've got our music working again. See, I'm all excited. Yes. So with that, until next week, everybody, see you same bat time, same bat channel. And until next time, take care, everybody.